Hi, 11th graders. This is Mr. Krishon coming to you from the high school guidance office. Typically, we would come into 11th grade English classes and talk to you about the PSAT, but with you guys only having classes 2 days a week, we thought this would be a more efficient way to get that info out. So the PSAT is going to be giving here at Springville High School in the cafeteria on Saturday, October 17th from 8 o'clock to 11:30 a.m. You'd need to find your own transportation to and from the test that day, and we've just sent home a letter to parents about how to register. The big question a lot of kids have is, should I take this test? The PSAT is the preliminary SAT test. In other words, it's a practice for the SAT. The SAT is one of the two major competitor college entrance tests out there. There's the SAT, there's the ACT. So should you take this test really depends on where you're at with your college plans at this point. If you're thinking about going to a four-year college, there's a very, very good chance you're going to have to take an SAT or an ACT before you apply next year. Now with COVID right now, the rules of the game are a little bit different for seniors. Some colleges are waiving those tests, but who knows what the situation is going to be like next year. So I think that if a four-year college is in your sights, it's a good idea to take this practice test. Why would you pay to take a practice test? Well, one of the things about the SAT is the format of the test is timed sections. It's also, very different than probably any other test you've taken. You've taken Regents exams and big room tests, but usually that's a large block of time. These are short 25-minute sections on English or math. And the format of the question is a little bit different than you would see, in a typical Regents or school test here. So I think practice testing is a good thing because it helps give you a baseline of what your SAT score would be. And that sort of is something that you can hold up to a potential college and see, okay, where do I stand in relation to Canisius or Geneseo? Where do my SAT, where do my predicted SAT scores stand for their admission standards? Knowing that in the fall of your junior year is helpful because it gives you some time before the actual SAT, which typically comes in the springtime or early fall for a senior, gives you some time to review and practice. We have done an SAT review class as part of community ed in previous years. With COVID and exactly how that will run this year, I don't know. But whether you're doing that through our program or doing it through some sort of online program, a lot of students, based on their PSAT score, will choose to do some practice before they take the actual SAT. So how do you register? Registration is all done online this year. As I mentioned, we mailed home something to parents indicating how to do that. I will also, blast that out to my students in Google Classroom, and I'm sure that you'll get something, if you're not my student, from Mr. Mathewson or Mrs. Brennan as well, that shows you where that link is. You'll have to make payment online. The cost is $18 to take this test because they do charge us, per test to grade those and disseminate the results. If you get a free or reduced lunch, we can get you a fee waiver. To do that, you need to come see Mrs. Bly in the high school guidance office, and she will take care of your registration. So if you currently get free or reduced lunch, or if you think you qualify for that, but you don't get it, come to see Mrs. Bly in the guidance office, and we can help you with that. If you currently get test modifications, these are something that we would have sent home information about applying for those. On the PSAT or the SAT, we would have sent it home to you in the springtime about test mods. So after you've registered, we can let you know if the SAT has approved your mods. The SAT and the ACT, being private companies, they independently approve test modifications such as small group or extended time or these kinds of things. So those specific questions are something for your counselor. Hopefully this helps explain what the PSAT is and how you register. Certainly if you have any questions, please email your counselor, or your parent can call your counselor, and we can try to take those questions directly. There also is a good informational video from the College Board on the high school guidance website. If you just go to our website and there's a pull down for exam information. You'll see a PSAT, and you can see some of the information they have about the test, how it's scored, and how you can use your scores. Thanks.